Understanding Personally Identifiable Information, PI. Introduction. In our increasingly digital world, the protection of personal information has never been more crucial. At the heart of this concern lies personally identifiable information, PII. Understanding what constitutes PII and how to safeguard it is essential for both individuals and organizations. What is PII? PII refers to any data that can be used to identify an individual, either on its own or in combination with other information. This can be further categorized into direct identifiers, such as passport numbers and social security numbers, and quasi-identifiers, like race and date of birth, that can be used with additional data sets to pinpoint an individual. Types of PII. PII can be divided into two main categories. 1. Sensitive PII. Definition: sensitive PII includes information that, if disclosed, could lead to significant harm, embarrassment, or inconvenience. Examples: Social Security Number, SSN. Passport information. Driver's license number. Credit card information. Medical records. 2. Non-sensitive PII. Definition: non-sensitive PII refers to information that is publicly available and does not pose a direct threat if disclosed. Examples: date of birth, gender, zip code, race, place of birth. Key takeaways. Sensitive PII is critical and should be handled with the utmost care. Non-sensitive PII can still be used in conjunction with other data to identify an individual. The growing concern over data protection. Advancements in technology and the rise of big data have revolutionized how businesses operate, paving the way for more personalized services. However, this increased data collection has also led to a surge in data breaches and cyberattacks. Cases such as the 2015 IRS breach, which exposed the PII of more than 100,000 taxpayers, illustrate the vulnerabilities that exist in data security. Emergency calls for stricter regulations on data handling have prompted various governments and organizations worldwide to create guidelines focused on protecting consumer data. The essence of these regulations centers around not collecting sensitive data unnecessarily, ensuring data is securely deleted when no longer needed, and restricting PII access to trustworthy entities. Protecting your PII. While no system is infallible, there are several proactive measures individuals can take to protect their PII. Secure mail practices, utilizing a locked mailbox or a PO box to prevent mail theft. Limit information sharing, only carry essential identification and confidential information. Use strong passwords, employ unique and complex passwords for online accounts. Encrypt data, encrypt sensitive information and use password protections on personal devices. Be aware of phishing attacks, stay vigilant against unsolicited emails, calls, or texts that request personal information. PII regulations around the world. Regulations surrounding PII vary globally, reflecting different cultural values and governmental priorities. United States. In 2020, the U.S. government defined PII broadly to encompass any identifier associated with an individual. European Union. With the implementation of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in May 2018, the EU expanded the definition of PII, mandating strict guidelines on how personal data is collected and processed. Australia. Australia's Privacy Act 1988 regulates the handling of personal information by both government and private entities. Canada. Canada's Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, PIPEDA, governs the use of personal data in commercial settings. Differentiating PII from personal data. While often used interchangeably, PII and personal data are not entirely synonymous. Personal data encompasses a broader spectrum, including identifiers that might not directly trace back to an individual, such as IP addresses or device IDs. The consequences of PII breaches. Several high-profile breaches have resulted in severe penalties for companies that fail to protect PII. For instance, Didi Global received one of the largest fines to date for breaching data protection laws in China. Other organizations, like Equifax and Facebook, have incurred substantial financial and reputational penalties due to lax data handling practices. The Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal. A landmark case that underscored the risks of PII mishandling occurred when Cambridge Analytica harvested data from millions of Facebook users without their explicit consent. This incident revealed the importance of transparency in data usage and the potential consequences for organizations that mishandle personal information. What to do in case of PII breaches? If you suspect a breach of your PII, follow these steps. 1. Alert your financial institutions. Notify banks or credit card companies immediately. 2. Change passwords. Update passwords for affected accounts. 3. Monitor your accounts. Regularly check for unauthorized transactions. 4. Place a fraud alert. Consider placing a fraud alert on your credit report. 5. Report to authorities. In cases of identity theft, file a report with local law enforcement. Conclusion. In an interconnected digital landscape, safeguarding personally identifiable information, PII, is of utmost importance. Awareness and proactive measures can significantly mitigate the dangers of identity theft and data breaches. As regulations evolve globally, both individuals and organizations must remain vigilant in protecting sensitive data to ensure a safer online environment. The responsibility of protecting PII is shared. Each of us has a role to play in securing our personal information.